Have you ever noticed how people shop for furniture now? They do not always start by walking into a local store. They start by taking screenshots. A sofa from a celebrity's home, a dining table from a luxury apartment tour, a chair from an Italian design brand, a new piece from a furniture exhibition in Milan. They save the picture, send it to a factory owner in Foshan, and ask one simple question: can you make this? And the surprising part is, the answer is often not no. The answer is usually, what size do you want? What color? What material? What is your budget? When do you need it shipped? That is when you start to understand Foshan. For most people, a celebrity living room is something to admire. For Foshan, it is a product brief. For most people, Milan Design Week is a place for inspiration. For Foshan, it is market research. Today, we are talking about why Foshan's furniture market has become something people in China jokingly call an adult Disneyland for the middle class. And the story is not just about cheap sofas, it is about luxury taste, social media, manufacturing speed, and the strange moment when your dream home becomes a supply chain problem. First, what is Foshan? Foshan is a city in Guangdong, southern China, close to Guangzhou and not far from Shenzhen and Hong Kong. For decades, this region has been one of the most important manufacturing zones in China, and in furniture, Foshan is especially powerful. There are massive furniture malls, factories, wholesale markets, material suppliers, logistics companies, and custom workshops, all packed into one industrial ecosystem. If Yiwu is famous for small commodities, Foshan is one of the places people think of when they talk about home furniture at scale. But the first thing most consumers notice is simple: it is cheap. A table that costs tens of thousands of yuan in a city showroom might cost a fraction of that in Foshan. A sofa that feels impossible in a luxury store can suddenly become negotiable. Delivery, customization, fabric, color, size, everything can be discussed. But if you only describe Foshan as cheap, you miss the real story. The real power of Foshan is not just low price. The real power is translation. It translates taste into production. It translates a screenshot into a quote. It translates a lifestyle image into wood, foam, fabric, hardware, labor, and shipping. To an ordinary viewer, a designer sofa is an object of desire. To a Foshan factory, it is structure, curvature, stitching, dimensions, material, and production cost. Most people see a picture and think, that looks beautiful. I wish I had it. Foshan sees the same picture and thinks, send me the image. Let me check if we can make it. That is the key. Foshan turns aesthetic distance into a manufacturing question. Do you want a celebrity-inspired sofa? Ask. Do you want a discontinued foreign design? Ask. Do you want something in the style of a high-end Italian brand, but with different fabric and a different size? Ask. Do you want it customized to fit your apartment? Ask. In many parts of the world, furniture is sold as a brand, a lifestyle, and a status symbol. In Foshan, furniture becomes furniture again. Frames, cushions, foam density, leather or fabric, metal legs, wood panels, logistics, installation. And once all of that is broken down, the mystery of luxury becomes a little less mysterious. This is why Foshan has become so attractive right now, because social media has trained ordinary people to have luxury taste. A generation ago, most people did not see celebrity homes every day. They did not scroll through endless apartment tours, luxury villas, minimalist interiors, vintage furniture collections, boutique hotels, or design influencer homes. Today, they do. You can live in a small rented apartment with boxes stacked next to your bed and a kitchen barely big enough to turn around in. But on your phone, you may already have saved 100 dream living rooms. Today, you like mid-century modern. Tomorrow, you like creamy minimalism. Next week, you decide Italian quiet luxury is the only correct answer. You may not own a home yet, but you already know what kind of sofa belongs in your imaginary living room. You may not be renovating yet, but you already understand floating TV cabinets, modular couches, warm lighting, travertine coffee tables, and the exact shade of beige that looks expensive online. This is one of the strangest contradictions in modern consumption. People acquire the taste before they acquire the budget. They learn what a beautiful home should look like before they can actually build one, and furniture sits right in the middle of that gap. A sofa is no longer just something you sit on. It has to communicate softness, taste, and a sense of ease. A chair is no longer just something that holds your body. It has to hold your aesthetic identity. A dining table is no longer just a place to eat. It has to say, I am living properly. That is why celebrity furniture, influencer furniture, and designer style furniture are so tempting. People are not only buying objects, they are buying fragments of an ideal life. And Foshan offers a very practical promise. Maybe that fragment does not have to stay in your saved folder forever. Maybe it can be priced, maybe it can be made, maybe it can be shipped. This is why people describe Foshan furniture shopping as addictive. In a normal store, furniture feels fixed. There is a brand, there is a price tag, there is a showroom, there is a salesperson. You can buy it or you can walk away. In Foshan, the experience feels different. The price is not always final. The color can change, the fabric can change, the size can change, the design can be adjusted. You can compare one shop against another. You can send the same picture to multiple sellers. You can ask about freight, installation, material upgrades, and whether the price can go lower. Suddenly, shopping for furniture becomes less like shopping in a mall and more like entering an open world game. You arrive thinking you only need a sofa, then the side quests begin. Try the mattress, look at dining tables, compare coffee tables, touch the fabric, ask about shipping, add the seller on WeChat, check another building, find the same model next door, negotiate again. At some point, you are no longer just buying furniture. You are exploring a system, and the most addictive part is not the furniture itself. It is comparison. Is there a better one? Is there a cheaper one? Can this seller do it for less? Can the shop next door make the same thing faster? That is why people call it an adult Disneyland, not because there are rides, but because it creates a fantasy world where your taste, your budget, your bargaining skills, and your imagination all get to play at the same time. The most dramatic example is the Louvre International Furniture Exhibition Center in Foshan. Yes, it is actually called Louvre, and for many first time visitors, it does not feel like a normal furniture mall. It has huge halls, crystal chandeliers, European style columns, grand staircases, showrooms, restaurants, and hotel facilities. It looks part shopping mall, part museum, part luxury hotel, and part theme park. It is even recognized as a national 4A tourist attraction in China. That detail sounds absurd, but it explains a lot. In most cities, a furniture mall is just a furniture mall. Maybe it is big, maybe it is tiring, maybe there are many brands, but in Foshan, furniture shopping has been turned into an experience. People go there not only to buy, they go to browse, compare, take photos, collect ideas, and feel what a better home might look like. Some visitors are couples planning renovations, some are interior designers, some are content creators, some are just curious tourists, and all of them are moving through a place where the front stage looks like a spectacle, while the backstage is pure business. You think you are walking through a dream, but every pause, every photo, every question, every quote can become an order. This is where Foshan's speed becomes important. On the internet, trends move fast. A new chair goes viral, a celebrity posts a photo, a design exhibition shows a new shape, a blogger's apartment tour gets attention. In the comments section, people ask, "Where can I buy this?" For many viewers, that is just a comment. For Foshan, it is a demand signal. A picture is not just a picture, it is potential production data. A viral product is not just a viral product, it is a business opportunity delivered directly to the factory floor. That is why Foshan can feel almost unreal. While consumers are still asking for the link, someone in the supply chain is already asking about dimensions. While people are saving images, factories are studying the structure. While brands are telling a story about design philosophy, someone else is calculating material cost and shipping fees. This is not because one individual seller is magically efficient, it is because the whole industrial cluster is built for response. Materials, workshops, factories, showrooms, sellers, freight companies, and installers are all close enough to move quickly together. So what looks like imitation from the outside is also, from another angle, a system reading market demand in real time. Of course, this brings up a serious question. What about originality? What about intellectual property? What about design rights? This is the uncomfortable part of the Foshan story. From the consumer's point of view, the system is attractive. It gives ordinary people access to styles they could never normally afford. A luxury-looking sofa becomes possible. A discontinued piece becomes possible. A designer-inspired living room becomes possible. You could call that a kind of aesthetic democratization. But from the point of view of original designers and brands, the picture is much more complicated. If every new design can be copied, adapted, and sold at a lower price almost immediately, how do you protect the value of design? Who pays for research, experimentation, branding, and the risk of creating something new? If consumers only care that something looks similar, what happens to the people who made the original idea valuable? This is why Foshan is fascinating. It is not simply good or bad, it is efficient, useful, controversial, and deeply real. It exposes one of the biggest tensions in global consumer culture. People want originality, but they also want affordability. They admire brands, but they do not always want to pay brand prices. They want beautiful homes, but they live within ordinary budgets. Foshan exists right inside that contradiction, and that is why it works. For many people, the question is not, can I own the exact original designer piece? The question is, can I make my home feel better? Can I make my living room look closer to the image in my head? Can I get something beautiful, comfortable, and reasonably priced? That is the emotional core of the story. Before Foshan enters the picture, the normal online shopping process looks like this: save the image, search for the product, see the price, go silent. After Foshan enters the picture, the process changes: screenshot, send image, ask price, change color, customize size, arrange shipping. That difference is not just about money, it is about possibility. It is about the feeling that the life inside your saved folder can move one step closer to reality. Of course, buying a celebrity style sofa will not make you a celebrity. Buying a billionaire style chair will not put you inside a mansion. Most people know that. They are not trying to change their entire life with one piece of furniture. They just want their own place, however small, to feel a little more like home. They want the light in the living room to feel warmer. They want the sofa after work to feel softer. They want the space they return to every night to reflect a version of themselves they still believe in. That may be the real reason Foshan Furniture became so compelling. It does not create the dream. The internet already did that. What Foshan does is make the dream cheaper, closer, and easier to touch. Disneyland sells a fantasy. Foshan sells something more practical: the possibility that your imaginary home can become an order form.